What up, though? Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unfiltered on Notoriously Opinionated. It's your man that goes by many names and monikers. This is going to be unfiltered and unscripted while talking about the relationships we go through in life. I go by Scrap the Film Guru, amongst other names and monikers. So I got names, monikers, one appellation, the name my mama gave me. And I have a panel of amazing guests for you tonight. We're going to get it in. We're going to tap in. I'm glad you tuned in. If this is your first time tuning in to Notoriously Opinionated, welcome. If you've been rocking with the kid, thank you. Welcome back. All right. So we're going to get into it tonight, and it's going to be a dope episode, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be dope. But first, let me go ahead and put in my nickels and dimes, man. Let me put in my nickels and dimes and cook a little bit, because I've been wanting to talk about this for a good little minute, right? Because this has been a thing for like the last couple of weeks, I would say. I seen this like 2 weeks ago, or whenever it was that Funny Marco was supposed to come and do some stand-up in the city. All right. So here's the deal. The question is, how good or bad is Kansas City at supporting its own? All right. So that is the question. How good or bad is Kansas City at supporting its own? Well, I believe it depends on whether its own supports Kansas City. Kansas City, to me, is as good as the people that support it. If you support Kansas City, if you rep Kansas City, when you blow, when you make it, Kansas City will rep you. If you don't rep Kansas City gonna give you the middle finger. That's just how we rock. All right. So here's where all this comes from. I'm looking at Facebook, and it's a little brother I watch named at Hall of Fame Hefe, right? Lil Cuddy, he reps the town. You know what I'm saying? He reps the town for real. And so salute to Hall of Fame Hefe. But here's the thing. Like, so I guess he does comedy too. He's trying to get in the same lane as Funny Marco. Funny Marco had some stand-up that he was supposed to be doing in the town a couple weeks ago. Show got canceled. The show got canceled due to low ticket sales, right? So you go into kind of the comments, and the comments kind of spanned out. So you had comments that was saying, I didn't know Funny Marco did stand-up comedy. I didn't even know Funny Marco was going to be here this weekend, or that I didn't even know he had a show. You had comments that were saying, well, it wasn't and this was the most frequent comment about it. I didn't even know Funny Marco was coming this weekend. I didn't even know he had a show here. And last but not least, there was a few comments that went like this: Funny Marco don't represent the town, right? So since he left Kansas City and went to Atlanta, it's like he didn't look back at Kansas City. And so it was a lot of people that took offense to that, and so it's like, if he don't rep the town when he's not in the town, then why are we gonna rep him? Why are we gonna come and support him? And so at Hall of Fame Headface thing was, you'll go out and buy some $300 pair of Jordans, but you can't spend $50 on somebody else from the town. Well, the reason why that is because if you act like you never heard of Kansas City, once you leave Kansas City, you can't come back to Kansas City and expect support. Now, the last thing I read was this. And I believe that this is true because I've witnessed it. Kansas City is a last minute buy town. Translation: something could be going on, right? And we'll know about it for months, right? But unless it's some sort of special deal for coming on that early and doing it, we ain't about to do this till the last minute, partner. Like day of, that's when we coming on and we gonna sell out. You know, if it's something we want to see, we'll sell it out day of. It's not about to be no I've been having my tickets for 2 or 3 months. It ain't none of that. It's gonna be, hey, the show's tonight. It's at 7. I'm gonna go get my tickets at 6:30. That's just how we get down sometimes, unfortunately. You know, now that's just how it is, you know. So it boils down to this. If you get some fame and notoriety and you leave Kansas City, are we still obligated to support the person that leaves Kansas City but no longer supports where they from? You know, are we supposed to still show support, right? Even though it doesn't seem like they supporting us. Me personally, when I go out of town, I can't wait to throw on some Kansas City Royals and some Kansas City Chiefs gear. You know, I did hear that if you go to Philly with some Chiefs gear on, they liable to shoot you. So, you know, that they still salty about that. You know, they still in their bag. but a lot the consensus is people just don't think Funny Marco reps Kansas City. And so when Kansas City don't rep him, you know, it shouldn't even be taken to heart. All right. But you know, shout out to him, you know. He doing his thing. Much you know, I wish you all the best. But if you can't get mad because the town don't support you if you don't support the town. All right. Tap into the comments. Let me know how you feel about this whole Funny Marco situation. Do you feel like Kansas City should have still supported the brother when he came back, even though it's somewhat of a consensus that it wasn't really well marketed, people really didn't know about it, and you know, it seems like he may not represent us. All right, so we're gonna tap into that. Let me know what you think, and on the other side, we're gonna come back and we're gonna get this started. We're talking about love languages tonight on Notoriously Opinionated. Let's go. What's going on? Hold up. This is somebody. Boom. All right. All right. Let's get it in. Hey, how was everybody's New Year? First off, Happy New Year to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody had happy holiday, happy New Year. Everybody was safe. Dodged all the bullets that was getting shot in there. You know, that is a real thing. Promise. I hope y'all not talking out loud because I can't hear a word y'all saying. Okay. All right, cool. So how's everybody's New Year? Like, that was a real question. That wasn't even filler. That's a real question.
It was great. It was very grown, very 33. I was in the house. Okay, I don't know. Did you have Monty?
Oh no, I was at home.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. Drinking your little wine, being in the house. Okay, we don't go out after 30.
Shucks, I had a couple of beers, smoked a cigar, passed out. Yeah, didn't go
I was
nowhere.
barely hanging out. It was 11:45. I'm like, all right, Jesus.
I was working on this show.
All right.
That's all I was doing. I was working on this show, getting some things together for 2025. Like, man, I think Pac said it best. Last year was a hard one, but life goes on. You know what I'm saying? So 2025 is here, people. Like 2025 is here. And like, this is gonna sound crazy, but I've been waiting on 2025 for like the last 7-8 years. Like, real rap. Like, I've been planning on 2025 for like 7-8 years now. It's things that I'm expecting to jump. And we gonna make sure that it do. We do got a comment. So let me put this on. Matter of fact, let me put a few of these on. Funny Marco has talked shit on Kansas City, seems confused at times. You got to stand tall on this or don't stand on it at all. And that is what I've been saying. So yeah, if you don't rep Kansas City ain't gonna rep you. I mean, and that's just how it's coming off. All right, we on here tonight to talk about these love languages. Love languages is what we are here to discuss.
Hey, Scrap, we see a little bit of a we can hear a feed, like
you can hear a feed.
Like back feed. Yeah, I hear back feed. Or is it delayed or anything?
On mine, is it you get reverb or you get reverb?
No, we're not. We can hear you fine over here.
Shit, my stuff.
Okay. Hey man, I swear, live TV. It goes down on live TV. Hey, so all right, so let's talk about these love languages, what we feel they mean, and then what could possibly happen as a result of not living up to these love languages, and talk about how to resolve the conflict that's gonna come as a result of not living up to these love languages. So first of all, does everybody know what they say there's 5 general love languages, right?
Hold on, Brad.
Yeah.
Let everybody introduce themselves first.
Let who to what?
Introduce everyone.
See, this is why you here, right? Matter of fact, let's start with my co-host, man. Please, everybody, introduce yourself. Hold on, wait, my bad. Let me start with the ladies. Even though, yeah, let's introduce yourselves.
Me? Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Jasmine J, aka the Wine Goddess. Please follow me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all the things. I sell wine. I do content. I'm a host and all those things. So yeah, you can find me anywhere.
And I'm Monty, and I'm here.
All right, Jasmine, the Wine Goddess, and Monty, who is here. Appreciate both of y'all for being on tonight. And
thank you for having us.
Without question. My man up there, that hears reverb. What's up with you? Who are you?
My name is Phoenix Smoke in the building. KCK bound. It's kind of funny because I always rep Kansas City. I don't care where I go. But I move into Atlanta eventually. But I'm always representing the time. So.
Well, we ain't gonna have to worry about if you come back and do some stand up if anybody supports you because you rep it. So we ain't gonna have to worry about that. I got the photo shoot to prove it.
Now, real talk,
real rap. I got a whole drive full of pictures that proves it. All right.
What's funny? There's a like a going joke right now that Kansas City think that they can just put on a jersey and a hat and they feel like they dress because we always repping jerseys and everything. So that's pretty funny.
I can't knock it because that's kind of. I mean, I throw on that 87 or that 15, throw on some J's, and I'm gone.
And gone.
That's it. That's the fit.
It works for me.
It works.
We went for a reason, right?
Some J's or 15, Chiefs hat, and some J's. I'm out. It ain't even nothing else to talk about. Okay. Am I missing anything else? Before I jump back into this love languages, I'm curious about what everybody, because I've been hearing, like, I did a show about love languages. I don't know how long ago, but it was some months ago. It was like middle of last year. It might have been spring or summer last year. I did something about love languages, and I am very, very curious about what other people's opinions are of love languages. What's going on, Ashley? Tonight's topics are we're talking about love languages, and if you don't tap in to your partner's love language, the conflict resolution you're gonna need in your relationship. So, Phoenix, do you know what the so-called 5 love languages are, and more importantly, do you know what yours is?
Yeah. What's funny? Like, mine changes depending on what season in life I'm in, and so I'm more into like active service right now because I like you to show, So that's but definitely active service. Touch, affirmation, acts of service, quality time, and get.
Dig that.
Yeah.
Jasmine, what about you? What's your love languages?
I like gifts a lot. And I feel like I think words of affirmation are definitely important, but I think that you gotta back that up with a little acts of service. So, but all of them are great, really. All of them are, you really need all of them. But you know what I'm saying? There's just certain ones and certain times that you should do a little more every now and then.
Monty, what about you?
I like them all.
Yeah.
However, mine is quality time per se. I love to spend the time because you really get to know your person. You really get to understand each other, learn each other, grow with one another, have fun, see your partner, your best friend, all of that in there. And to me, quality time is really like top notch because how can you really know somebody you're not spending time with to get to know?
Right.
And how they are with the family and more.
Will, I completely agree with that. Let me for those that may not know what the 5 love languages are, it kind of breaks down to this. You got acts of service. I'm gonna go over the ones that we've already said. Acts of service, receiving gifts. What is it? Quality time. There's words of affirmation, and which one am I missing?
Touch.
Physical touch. Yeah, physical touch. So for a long time, I thought that my primary love language was words of affirmation. And I don't know if that's really because that's what I thought it was supposed to be because I'm a guy. Like I'm supposed to be affirmed or reaffirmed by my woman. Come to find out, I took some tests, and it makes a whole lot of sense that now words of affirmation is like my secondary one, but my primary love language is quality time. You know, so it's like, but the thing about each one of these is like, even with the gift giving, with gifts, they say, and Jasmine, correct me if I'm wrong, but they say that it's not about the price of the gift, it's not about how expensive it is, but it's about what the intention was, whether it comes from the heart, whether it was genuinely given, right? Is that true? Is that how you feel about it?
That it can change? Is that what your question?
Nah, like does gift giving have to do with the amount of the gift or the quality of the gift, like where it comes from?
I think it's definitely the more thoughtful you are, you know what I mean? That's what really counts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It lets me know that she's moving to a different season in her life, you know, so that's pretty dope.
Wow.
You know, it might have been the amount of the gift when you were young, but now you're like,
when you was younger.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know, I'm saying some diamonds, something. I'm just playing, but maybe. But yeah, no, definitely. As now that I've gotten older and I can get my own things, right?
I know
it's like it's just about, you know, do you really know me? You know what I like? You know, what
definitely
how
art
much
too.
thought did you put into this? That's really what I'm looking for. It's not necessarily the gift per se, you know what I'm saying? Giving me something, just anything, that don't cut it, you know. But what do I mean to you? I think it's showing, I think that's kind of how you show me what I mean to you, or what our relationship, or, you know, the concept of what you're trying to do. It needs to show in the gift.
Okay. So just real quick, how important is knowing what your love language and your partner's love language is? Like how, like on a scale from 1 to 10, how important is it?
I think it's super important, you know. I mean, because this is something that you kind of show every day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
So you know, let's also expound on that. So because what you know, I don't want to give you guys' ages, you know, but as you transition into where you at now, what would you tell the younger self about, you know, love language and the relationships you have, and what have you learned from then to now? And you know, that way, you know, depending on the audience that we're talking to or who's listening, you know, they have somebody like, okay, I'm not weird or not feeling a certain kind of way because these ladies transition this way, so that might be what I'm gonna do.
Right. You go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I think that knowing your partner's love language is very important. It's extremely important. I think it is one of the foundations to keeping a relationship alive, or a marriage, whichever one, because you cannot love your partner in the ways that you want to love them. I mean, you can do it, but it has to be received. So we all know, if you're doing something, going out and buying me gifts is not going to, you know, that's not going to work for me, you know, or whatever the situation may be. I could care less for gifts because, as Jasmine mentioned before, I can buy my own things, but I like them, but I can still buy my own things. So thinking you about to buy my love doesn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? You just have to match with them. You have to meet them where their level of receiving things are. That's the only way it really works, because then it kind of feels forced and pressured if you're just receiving this, but you're not really receiving that connection from people, if that makes sense.
And I think it also kind of it's important to just communicate, right?
Yeah.
Like it really highlights how much y'all communicate,
Mm-hmm.
and how willing you are to be vulnerable with that person, because I think that's really, at the end of the day, love languages is all great, but it's really like, can you communicate? Can you be vulnerable? Can you be honest about what you really want?
Can you adapt? Can you grow?
Exactly. So, I think love language is really just a symptom of things that are already, going on in the relationship, like communication and vulnerability.
Let me say this. So, guys, if you listen to them, if you buy her a gift and you're not thoughtful, make sure you keep the receipt so you can take it back. And then you can figure out what to give her specifically towards what she actually wants, right? So don't give her the gift and then, she don't really want it because you wasn't paying attention, man. Keep that receipt. You know what I'm saying? So you can take it back and, and use that money to buy what she really wants. Amen?
Amen.
Real right.
But don't make her feel like she's choosing her own things, because sometimes they don't like that now. They like for the man to just come correct.
Oh, no real talk. It's like, it ain't taking nothing back. You better just
don't take me to the store telling me to pick my gift, because this is not a gift. There is no thought behind it.
Oh no, I get it. That makes sense.
I really like the communication part of it. Like, communication is what in the world? Communication is completely key, right? So hopefully the link is hit. So the communication part of it is so key, right? Because it would be like, if the two parties can't communicate because they don't understand each other, that would be like if I just broke out, habari ndugu, unaongea Kiswahili, right? Ninasema Kiswahili?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly my point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're speaking two different languages, So if I just broke out and I'm like, kuna nini? Have no clue,
No clue.
If I speak Swahili and you speak Spanish and the two of us don't know what the other one is saying, we got a communication barrier, and I think that's kind of the same thing with not understanding A, your own love language, and two, your partner's love language, because to me, and from what I've experienced and what I've read, it goes from it's how so your love language and your partner's love language is how they communicate and receive love. There they go. Hey, that's in the film business, we call that a fade in. That's a fade in. So did y'all happen to hear what Phoenix and I was talking about? Okay, cool. So we was talking about kind of what you were saying, Jasmine, the communication part, right? It's like if I was just to break out and be like, unaongea Kiswahili, kuna nini?
Y'all got the mute button hit.
Yeah, you got the mute button on. Hit that mute button.
She doing
We
sign
can't
language.
hear a word you
Perfect
saying.
example.
Mute button. Not
mic down there at the bottom.
Hapana.
Perfect example right here of everybody trying to communicate and y'all speaking two different languages.
Exactly.
They're doing sign
Like,
language.
I'm speaking Swahili and y'all speaking in sign.
That part. Oh shoot. Now we need y'all to tap in. Let me see.
Yeah. Go out, come back in. That's it. Same link. So and for real, that really was a perfect example, like of how you can't hear each other if if y'all not on the same wavelength, right?
Yeah, try your best to communicate.
Yeah, you can try your best to communicate, but if and again, if I can't hear you, right, it's like
Yours now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
But no, you're absolutely right. Different languages don't translate the same.
You know, I have a question, and so just kind of thinking about, you know, the community and this culture, and you know, and there's a real big thing of I don't even think that everybody knows their love language. Let me start off with that. But if y'all agree with me, like when I see and I listen to the culture, like it's all about like end dating women with gifts, right? Whether that's like their love language or not, or maybe that's the younger culture. I wanna, if we could, get you guys to expound on like this big push that, you know, if a man ain't got money, he can't buy you all this stuff, you know what I'm saying, and he ain't showing love. I want y'all to teach these younger sisters what that actually means, and where the culture is, and if it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, or just take that and expound on it for me, please. See, like women.
Okay. So I 100% agree with you. You know, I grew up in that thinking. I feel like a lot of women did. If you look at like the Housewives episodes, a lot of the women, they kind of fall into that same mindset where it's like, the man got to be the provider, he got to be the one taking care of you and all this. But it really sets you up to be in a trap. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And no shade to the man or anything like that. I think it's just really important for women to always have their own, right? So at the end of the day, a gift is a gift. We're not talking about, you know, overdoing it and just providing and she not doing nothing. Or let me not say not doing nothing. But in terms of men having money or whatever, and that being the thing that attracts a woman, it's a setup to me. You know, I think it's really important for women to make sure that they have their own, just to make sure it, not even just for themselves, but so that men can feel like it's not all on me. Like, this is not just about money. It's about us and us growing. You know, I don't want to put a dollar amount on the gifts. I think, again, it just really comes down to being thoughtful. You know, what you can do is what's more important, right? I think that, hi friend. I think that, again, just the thought behind it is what's valuable, right? And like, that's really what you got to look at, is the value of the person. I saw a really good quote on Instagram that was just like, if that person doesn't bring out the best in you, then you don't need to be around them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's valuable. It's not necessarily what they can do for you. It's about what they bring out of you. And that to me is just more important than the dollar amount.
Right. So not necessarily talking about the dollar amount, but like, do you think that the culture is making that, or is the culture expressing the 5 love language when you're saying like, if you can't buy me this, if you can't do all this, you know, does that really have anything to do with the love language, or is that something that's totally different in your opinion?
Yeah, I think that's totally different. I don't think that has anything to do with love language. I think that's a mindset that people have been conditioned into to trap or manipulate, and it's not even just on the male side. It be happening on the woman's side as well, right? Where, you know, women look for a certain type of man. You know what I'm saying? It's a mindset.
Yeah, what they call it, mental abuse.
Yeah,
mental abuse.
For sure.
To get what you want.
And it's unfortunate, you know. I think these poor children out here nowadays, they don't know what color the sky is. Like, they got so many examples of what you're talking about, I feel, and not enough examples of the other side, again, where someone's actually bringing out the best in you. But I think we're so focused on, in this society, trying to use somebody else and not necessarily just try to get yourself together first. that we can't even get to the next conversation of being in a valuable, healthy relationship.
Because we
Real talk.
protect something that ain't even happening. What they call that? Self-sabotage.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
And she did this, so I started thinking about the cutoff culture that we in, that gym tonight. And you actually brought something up that's not necessarily on topic, but what I noticed is, you're right, it's such a usury culture right now where it feel like, well, unless you're talking about being with me for real, I'm gonna see as much as I can get from you, so that way if it doesn't work out, at least I feel somewhat satisfied, which you really don't. But it's like, let me give me right now, just so that I can feel somewhat fulfilled. And that's what I know is that men and women are both doing that. Like, let me use your ass up real quick, just in case this doesn't go anywhere. Well, how's it gonna go anywhere when we got all these people in the stable too? So we're really not giving 100% up over here anyway. But we gonna get 40 from you, and 10 from you, 5 from you, or whatever. So anyway.
Let me ask this. So, can building an empire with your mate be considered, I think you meant love, a love language?
Yeah, that falls in. That falls into play of when I said quality time, where you get to know your partner, you grow with your partner, you build with your partner, you know how to love your partner, right? That quality time is what teaches you your partner's love language. That quality time is what teaches you the proper communication. It shows you guys how y'all can build together and what y'all can stand for with one another. And back to what Jasmine said, when you mentioned how what your partner can bring out of you, right? So not only what your partner can bring out of you, but also what you can then reflect within yourself and see if that makes sense.
So you're saying like the quality time is really the foundation of all the love languages, because
of all the love
quality
languages,
time, you would know, okay, this cat likes to be touched, so to speak, right?
Exactly.
That's a good point.
That's the only way to learn and to know. You cannot be with somebody for 2 months and think you're going to know this person's quality.
Right.
I mean, I'm not here to say love at first sight don't happen. And I'm not here to say that, people don't just get each other, right off bat. However, that's not always the case in reality. That's not what's going to happen every single time. So,
and I think that question is a little subjective, because what is the empire, and again, spending quality time with your person, you'll know what they want, what is considered their empire, right? Mm-hmm. And I only say that because I read Jada Pinkett's book and Will Smith's book, and she didn't necessarily want all these things. Is she appreciative and all that? Yes. But I think too, in time, you can change. You can change your mind. You can change what you want. You can change, just whatever it is. You can change. You have the choice to want to change. And so, what is an empire, right? Maybe your empire is a huge conglomerate and it's global and all the things. Or maybe your empire is a home with your children and their kids or whatever. Again, it's really just about spending that quality time and understanding who is your partner.
Right. And then with the empire, what she said, what is your empire? What are you bringing? You can never forget that. What qualities do you possess to help build this empire? How can you adapt, change, and grow when things aren't working out, and so on and so forth? I mean, because you got to build it. Y'all got to work together. You got to make a way.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's definitely a subjective thing. I completely agree with that, because one of the things that we always try to, not always, but one of the things that we try to kind of emphasize is, what's the definition? What is your definition? Because like you said, like one person's definition of an empire could be internal, while the other person's definition of an empire may be external. So one may be built on money, power, and respect, while the other ones may be built on how you make me feel and the the dream and the fantasy of what it is that I've desired, you know. So one is internal, one is external, and it's but what he said was he didn't say what the woman helped the man build an empire. He was saying, and let me go back up to it. Can building an empire with your mate, right? So that's not to say that the woman's not the one that's trying to get the money, power, respect, and the man's like, well, babe, I just want quality time. Can we just cuddle? You know.
I think she hit it on the head though, just saying that it's subjective, you know, because everybody's definition of what success is different. So,
everybody's definition.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't want us to forget that even with our 5 core love languages, it's going to always change, you know, depending on where you at in your feet.
Fluctuate.
You know? And so it definitely fluctuates. So
now, I mean, and the thing is, like, it's not that you can only have one. Like you said, like all 5 of them have relevance, right?
Absolutely.
And you can maneuver through all 5 of them, depending on the situation and quite possibly depending on the person, you know.
Hey, check it. So there is a website that you can go on and actually take the test. I took it a long time ago. I went recently to try to take it. They want to charge you now, so I was like, you know. So I think it's actually kind of dope to go on and kind of see, because like you said, all 5 work in concept. So it's not just one love language, it's all 5. You just, you know, depending on where you're at, they move, you know what I'm saying? So
what's one more important than the other at times?
Absolutely.
Without question. Like I said, like for a long time, I thought my primary love language was words of affirmation, because it's like who don't like hearing that they're doing a good job? Who don't want to hear that everything you do is not terrible? You know, who don't want to hear that? But then to really understand that your love language is quality time, and let me expound on quality time for a tick. It's like quality time doesn't mean like I want to spend all day with you. You know, it doesn't mean that we have to spend all day. It doesn't mean that we have to go somewhere extravagant. It doesn't mean that we have to do any of that. It just means that for me, it means that I have, for however long a period of time, I have your undivided attention. You know, like we are focused on each other for this specific period of time. And that to me is quality time, whether that's 30 minutes or 3 hours.
Or if you're just like going through a really hard fucking time and like you need your partner to lift you up or just be there to listen, just to support you, like that to me, you know, it speaks volumes in terms of relationships. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, not just with your mate, but with a friend, right? It's like it's important to be there for people when they really need you. That's quality. Yes.
Now I'm glad you said that. So when we're talking about love languages, does it mean like the amor kind of love that you have with a significant other, or could your love language be utilized with a friend, a family member, or anybody? Because it's just love.
My love language brings some wine over to my girlfriend's house, y'all.
That.
And we love it. That's our communication.
Gifts. I like bringing gifts.
Yeah. So she brung the wine. You know, that's gift giving. You know, so I think that it's and a lot of people just hear love languages, and they think that we just talking about you with your significant other, right? When and that's kind of how it is with this show. We talking about relationships, but all of the relationships that we talking about is not just relationships with your significant other. There's a way deeper definition to relationships, you know. So you can have a relationship with your significant other. You can have a relationship with your friends. You can have a relationship with your family, with the creator, with yourself, with the world around us. You know,
right? What they call those social shifts, romantic shifts, and then you also have your work shifts.
Right? Absolutely.
And so when we were talking about that, this reminds me of a conversation that I just had with a cousin of mine the other day. And her husband had got a little offended when he heard her say a friend was her soulmate. And so someone else had to step in and let it be known that soulmate doesn't only mean husband-wise. Like that can be partner, person, or friend. As your friend, your female friend also being your person, if that makes sense. Because not every friend will get you like one particular friend may get you. Maybe soulmate wasn't the proper word, but
Right,
that was that discussion. And that was the way it was broken down. I was not a part of this discussion, but that was the way that it was broken down, that your soulmate can also be a friend that gets you on a whole nother level.
Many soulmates in this life. You probably got to stop treating soulmate like it is
just a romantic shit, because I honestly agreed with that. Now y'all laughing, but I did not disagree too much with you can have a female, like I'm a female and I'm not, into another female, but she gets me almost, or maybe like my partner upstairs may get me or something. There's not too many people who will get you like that.
I think that's something that we continue to talk about every week, how there's a definition, there's a word, right, or a term. You have 10 people in the room and you have 10 different definitions. And that's why it's just so much confusion, because no one can really like hone in on this is the damn definition for this word, and we all agree. Because I don't agree with that being my soulmate, but I do agree with that being your person. You can have a person that's not your significant other, but I wouldn't necessarily consider them my soulmate.
Now, my thing is this. Your man come home talking about, babe, I think I found my soulmate at work. I don't give a damn what you say. I don't give a damn what you say.
Because he ain't using that with me.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm the only soulmate.
It's immediately going down. That's why I'm over here laughing. I'm like, yeah, okay. It sounds good because it's you talking about your girlfriend. Let your dude come home and be like, babe, you'll never guess what happened at work today. I think I found my soulmate. She just gets me.
Good point.
Because they can't take that. They can't. You gotta choose a better choice of words.
You're gonna be added to the murder rate of Kansas City. No, it's gonna be one less.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be one less brother to worry about. He come home and say that.
Yes.
That's funny.
That part.
That's funny.
I'm assuming that's why that turned into an argument between them, because the choice of words, right?
Real talk.
Use a word and put your own definition to it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was like, well, person, because that's what I said on the phone. I was like, okay, well, your person, I get that, but I'm not married, but I've never I call my boyfriend now my soulmate, but I mean, that's the only person I have ever called my soulmate. But I do call my friend my person. I tell her that all the time, girl, you are my person. You're my friend. Don't no other friend get me like you. I say that. And I also tell my man he's my person.
Absolutely.
So,
but that's relatable, right? Because I think that's a term that I don't know too many people that can say I don't agree with that. So that's a definition I think we all can come and say we get your definition of person. The soulmate thing,
I mean, but if the girl
it did not make sense to me though. But
well, Jasmine trying to make it fit. She's trying to make it fit.
Hey, subjective.
It did not make sense, but at the same time, your soulmate is the person that you marry. So I mean, it's one definition. Maybe
it makes sense. It makes sense depending on who's saying it and who they saying it to. Because again, like, but that's one of those things. It's like, what you mean you don't understand that that she is my soulmate boyfriend versus what you mean you don't understand that she is my soulmate girlfriend?
I mean,
yeah, okay.
It's in the middle. It's one of them sticky ones.
It is. It's a sticky.
It got sticky all of a sudden.
Because it made sense both ways. It made sense both ways, just to be honest, because it's like you do only get, I mean, you can have 1,001 friends. We know a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But it's only that handful, and then you only got that one that just kind of really gets you. And it's nothing sexualized, nothing romanticized. It's all a social ship. It's a real friendship. It's a real genuine ship. And sometimes it's really hard to find good friends. So,
and I mean, I think again, it's just about how vulnerable you can be with that person.
Yeah.
If you really feel like you can be vulnerable with that bitch at work, there's a problem. Okay? There is a problem. I'm sorry.
That's your soulmate.
Make your money, honey.
I mean, it's your soulmate though. You could be vulnerable with your soulmate, right?
But she just gets me. She's
and
my
soulmate.
She gets me. Like no one else ever has. She gets me.
Like I feel like there has to just really be a genuine connection in order to call someone a soulmate. I don't see nothing wrong. If she really do at work, if Tanisha, she files your files without you having to ask, then
just get you.
Then child, that's your work soulmate.
Can't nobody get you like Tanisha got you.
Shout out to Tanisha.
So that's you actually brought up an interesting point. Cause I hear people talk about having like work husbands and work wives. See, I ain't never had one of those. So I mean, like
my work husband's gang. So hallelujah.
If you got that, you better be free as a bird out here.
Hollering, but that's your soulmate too, though, right?
She be making you a little lunch and shit. Okay.
That's funny. I wonder if it has something to do with like generations too. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, I think for my generation, I ain't never heard nobody use soulmate.
What generation?
Well, my age group. You know what I'm saying? Like close to my age group. Soulmate means that's your significant other. Like I ain't never heard of using that term. So I would like to know. I'm curious to know, like depending on where you at, if that's something that everybody can agree upon in that generation. Like you can use this term for this, specific thing.
About for a friend?
Yeah, like the soulmate, like she said. Yeah,
hey, absolutely not.
Well, I know, but we in the same age group, so I'm actually interested in hearing like what somebody else think in their 30s or 20s or whatever, and then like, okay, maybe it's something that like their genre of music, so to speak.
Come home talking about Bill from marketing is your soulmate if you want to.
Listen, leave it alone. Bill is harmless.
We gonna see the Bill come in the next day.
Come home. That's gonna be the last time.
That's funny.
Said Bill gonna be a trunk. I'm gonna be out there helping everybody look for him.
That's funny. Hey, let's ask this, man. So I think we already kind of talked about, like, of course, with the 5 love languages, they all work in unison, and we all spoke what our primary love language is. How do we come to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we come to knowing that that's your primary love language? Like, out of the 5, how you like, okay, this is my love language, and I know how I got to that, or do you know how you got to that being your love language?
For me personally, I felt like it was through my relationship experiences. I knew what made me happy, what made me feel complete, what made me feel whole. But not only is quality time a love language, but so is affirmation or words of affirmation, because when them bad moments happen, y'all need to be able to let each other know them bad moments did not take over. You know what I mean?
I get it.
And I learned that later on in my relationship, how words of affirmation really meant more than what I thought. Because we can walk around as pretty women, we can walk around and we can hear all day, every day that we're beautiful. That means nothing.
I agree.
It means absolutely, positively nothing. You gotta come harder than that. Tell me something.
That makes sense, but remember, like, you have to be a secure woman, then it means nothing. Maybe an insecure woman, then
right?
She needs that.
That is very true. That is very true. And then when you hear it all day, every day, or all the time, everywhere you go, it becomes a normal thing too.
Yes.
So then,
it can get annoying.
oh my God, especially when you looking.
Well, you know, he's just trying to get in your panties, like, boy, all right.
Because they gonna tell you anything. So it's like, it really comes with learning your love language based off experiences. Because based off the experiences, you know what you want. You learn what you don't want. You learn what you don't like. You learn what you can and can't do, what you can and can't put up with. When you learn that you was that person that said, I would never, and was the same person in them shoes doing them never things you said you would never do. So it all depends on what it brings out of you.
And I think what you mean, what you're saying is more so just like the feeling of it all, right? Like that's really how I feel like I've come to understand what I like is the feeling, right? It makes me feel real good when you do this. It makes me feel real good when you say that.
Secure.
You know,
make me feel secure.
Yes. And that comes from experience. Like you said, it only comes from time and experience.
Can't get out here hollering you want this and you want that, and then you get something like that and it ain't feeding your soul. Now you sitting here looking empty because you only getting this when you want all of that, you know.
What about you, Scrap?
Well, I'm gonna touch that here in a second. I want to piggyback off of what they said, so because I just need clarification. So random cats coming up to you and complimenting your looks can get old after a while, but the guy that you're with can compliment you all day and it never gets old.
Correct.
Because that's who you want the attention from, is your guy, not just random guy.
Right. It ain't gonna happen all day, every day. It really happened like you be like, damn, baby, you look
good. It do be the moments that catch you off guard because you really can be walking around looking raggedy as ever.
They see you with the you ain't got no eyebrows on,
and you getting all this love, you know.
Exactly.
Random love, you know. It's reassurance, I guess. It just feels good to know that this person is really locked into you or truly locked into you.
Because they don't have to tell. I mean, they do if that's your love language, whatever, but they really don't have to. If they with you, you kind of, I would assume
it's a choice.
You would feel like you look good.
Right.
You know.
I mean, assume. But you know, some people like ugly guys. Besides now. I used to be a victim of the girl that liked the ugly guys, but it still works for me. I was a Beauty and the Beast type of chick too.
You know, it's funny she said it. I got that bad where, like, if I'm with you, yeah, you attractive. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So I'm not. I don't tell you all the time. I think I show you. You know what I'm saying? You know. Yeah. So I'm just, you know, being out here dating stuff. I realized that women really want to hear that all the time. I'm like, damn, man, I'm gonna have to. That's not really what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm showing you what I did you, so that means, yeah, nigga, I got to flex with you. You know, so. But yeah, that's I don't need to hear it either. Like, my thing is that affirmation is my mother. I remember something my mother told me back in the day. She said, if an ugly person calls you attractive, what is that? You know what I mean? And you know, I guess ugly could be, you know, subjective, right? So I don't need to be told I'm handsome. I don't need to be told that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I just, you know, like how my love language has changed. The reason why I say that acts of service, because people be on some bullshit so much nowadays. Well, I'm like, man, show me you love me. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at. I really don't need gifts because, like you said, I can buy my own gifts. But I will say this, right? You know, I didn't get a whole lot of gifts through my marriage. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming through my marriage, I didn't get a whole lot of gifts. I was the giver because that's how I showed love to my ex, right? And being single, you know, past my marriage, I get gifts now. I'm like, damn, this shit feels pretty good. Shit, I didn't even know how to act.
That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I didn't even know how to act because I'm like, okay, it's not just me giving, you know, and I'm receiving. So that is definitely part of my love language. It's like a rediscovered part of my love language, right? But I am also my top two, you know, like I said, acts of service. And then I realized I like to touch. So if my woman's love language she don't like being touched, and I ain't talking like roping and all that bullshit, like just like, you know, boom, you know what I'm saying? That's like perfect for me. Yeah, I'm very touchy. You know what I'm saying? In the bedroom, out the bedroom, you know, sporadic and everything else. But I'm not a really touchy guy out in public. You know, what I'm saying? So I don't really do, because to me, I think certain things is reserved for certain places, you know. But that's, shoot, you like to be touched, I like to touch. We don't say nothing.
Did that.
See, that's that old school.
Mm-hmm.
That's that old.
Because when my man, you mine, we can keep it a little cute, but we can PDA all day.
You're a PDA person.
It could be. I mean, I ain't trying to take it to the extreme, but
Oh, okay.
I ain't trying to be on nobody's camera. But I mean, I feel you certain things for certain places, but at the same time, you know, I definitely don't mind my man ripping and groping all over me, on me, hugging on me, whatever out here in public. Let it be known. I don't care. I love it. It also gives me like a sense of empowerment, just because I know my man is loving on me and it's like out loud. You know what I mean?
I see it.
And it's wonderful. It feels good. It feels amazing. It's reassuring. And again, back to security.
No, that's dope. It's just finding your person, right? So I mean, like that's how that's what it boils down to. So I get it. Man. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I might say get a room. You know what I'm saying?
We'll be like, we'll make this our room. Don't play.
Yeah, man, no doubt. That's funny. I'm with it. So Scrap, we ain't heard about yours, brother. Let's hear it.
Man, I sound like a broken record, because it's like for real, come to find out, words of affirmation is really my third one. It's like I talk so good to myself, I don't need nobody else to say nothing to me.
Okay, come on.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't, you know, like I can't, but I can't touch myself and get aroused. You know what I'm saying? I can't spend. I like spending time with me sometimes.
That a long time.
But that's a whole nother thing. Like there's times I wish I could get away from my damn self. Like I don't even want to be around me sometimes. So I know don't nobody else want to be around me all the damn time. You know, like I could stand me like 97% of the time, but I need to get away from me like 3% of the time. So, you know, but I would still say quality time is the main one, followed very closely by touch. You know, like it gotta be it's, you know, because I'm an ass smacker. It ain't even no need me.
And which woman don't? Okay, she wants that ass touch, smack, grab, rub, dub, love, bub.
I know that's right.
So I mean, if
she's perfect, okay.
Yeah.
Don't let it be no French BBL.
Now, if she like that shit, then fine. But other than that,
we gon' not a fresh BBL. We gonna talk about that in another episode. Real rap. We gonna talk about that.
I really liked. I think it's. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong.
Oh yeah,
Yukori. The question was.
Corey.
I think it's Yukori. I don't know. Are you able to step outside of your love language and love your partner in theirs? I love that question because that's really important to me. I mean, of course, your love language is important. But what about theirs? You know, like sometimes, like I'm an acts of service type of bitch. Like I like to cook with my man, do with my man. You know what I'm saying? Be running around the house.
Looking cute with some little shorts on, little big shirt.
All those things. But you know what I'm saying? Maybe that doesn't translate to him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The way that I wanted to. Again, the feeling, because everybody's feelings feel differently. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's the quality time. Maybe it's the touching. You know, it's important to, again, get outside of just about being yourself. Now, if you're single and you're by yourself, I still think you need to show yourself love and all that and attention and all that. But if, you know, you're in a relationship, it's definitely about stepping outside of that and learning what your partner wants. Again, communicating and being vulnerable enough to say, hey, I appreciate you sucking my dick on the table, but can you just please give me a gift? Like, just be, you know what I'm saying? Just talk,
be normal. You know? Maybe they want something a little more.
Yeah, like it's just a little more simple or more shocking. Who knows? Mm-hmm. It's just about being honest.
But let's not get away. I'm playing.
The wine definitely kicking in. Let's
not give one away for another. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's possible for everybody to be happy.
That's funny.
All right, but here's a like, isn't that kind of a given though, that each, like, it's the man's job to try to cater to the woman's love language, and then vice versa. Isn't that what we was talking about as far as it being, and I need both my hands for this, because a healthy relationship, because everybody's not in a healthy relationship. There's a whole lot of relationships. Everybody that is in a pair bond is not in a healthy relationship. So if one person is catering to the other's love language, but it's not being reciprocated, that's not a healthy relationship. And it could lead to turmoil. It could lead to conflict. That's what it would lead to. And not being attentive to your partner's love language could, and quite frankly will, eventually lead to conflict. So how do we navigate through those conflicts, not just through a lack of being attentive to your partner's love language, but just in general? Like, how do general conflict resolution tactics work inside of a relationship?
Well, let me say something real quick. I think it's really important to realize where you at with that person, because some people you're not even willing to learn their love language yet, because they're not going to be that person you're willing to spend that time with. So you got to know where you at with that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Come on.
So let's just make sure we put that out there.
We gotta put that out there, because like it's been said and it's been written that there's women who won't do something for this man but will do it for this one, and vice versa. There's men that won't do something for this woman but will do it for this woman, and it goes back to that person being your person, so but how do we resolve conflicts in a healthy way?
I mean, shit, sometimes you can't.
Very true.
Sometimes you can't.
Give up.
I'm just being, listen, sorry, y'all. It's sometimes, I feel like everybody has the best intentions. You can communicate, be vulnerable and all that. And sometimes that's still not enough. Sometimes that person gets defensive, makes excuses, doesn't want to do it, ain't comfortable doing it.
No reflection.
Whatever the case is. And at that point, I feel like it's just important to just address when that time together really either needs to come to an end, or maybe there needs to be a break. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to just be the person that's just like everything is all rainbows and sunshine in a relationship. Sometimes y'all really cannot seem to align with certain things, and I think that's okay to say,
And that is okay to say, but at that point, that's when you have to remember, for one, the problem or the issue is the problem and not the couples. And not only that, but I feel like I'm in a relationship. I'm not married, but I'm in a relationship, and I feel like everything, there has to be some type of resolution, whether you guys agree or disagree. I don't believe in anything being swept up under the rug, because nothing is going to be resolved. Nothing is going to magically disappear. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So to solve problems, it has to be talked about. It may not always be the discussion, the healthy way, but at that point, I mean, I have my religion and my spirituality, and you have to go to God, or I wouldn't tell you to go to anybody outside the marriage, unless, counselor or God. Counselor or God. But there has to be some type of resolution. It can't not be left with the door wide open, because every spirit is gonna come in and try to
be passive aggressive is what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Don't be passive aggressive with it. So just like you said, it's and this is kind of funny because one of my friends now is it's okay to agree to disagree and then leave it at that. Like, okay, when we talk it through, we might not even at the end agree, but at least it was talked to the point that both people feel understood. And I'm working on that now, to be honest with you, because because sometimes I'll be like, I'll be having that poop be gone, and I'll be like, girl, girl, I ain't feeling that, but I mean, it's still a process. It's still a process.
Sure.
I mean,
it takes time and patience. It never stops.
Patience.
So don't ever think it's ever gonna be
that part, right?
We done. We got this healthy relationship, right? It's gonna be every thing, and that's what creates, or that's what make you guys have a healthy relationship. Is the fact of how y'all come over them humps, how y'all come to each other, even in the heat of the moment, how y'all can snap out of it, even in the heat of the moment, because our anger can overtake. But you gotta be able, if this is your person, your soulmate, you gotta be able to do and willing to learn. Like, you have to check yourself before you check your partner. And I just realized I just checked myself with that statement. Lord Jesus.
No, that's key right there. Because it was funny again when we talked about is this person gonna be someone I'm gonna delve my time into? So now if I'm gonna delve my time into, then I'm gonna learn your love language, excuse me. And we already talked about that our love language has changed. So if ours changed, they can change too. So you constantly have to check in, And that's one thing that if I could tell the old Sean, is to understand the constant check-in. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you need to put that shit on the schedule. Like, okay, every damn week, I'm gonna check in and make sure that your love language ain't changed, because where you at, and is it a temporary shift or is this a permanent shift?
It's important.
Yeah, straight up, right? Shit. So, yeah, it's damn shit. You gotta be organized with your love. You know what I'm saying?
And your house can't be in shambles, because if your house is in shambles, don't think anything out here about to work for you.
Straight up.
Period.
Straight up.
No matter big, small, little, tall, you better fix it. It got to be fixed.
Now, from a spiritual standpoint, it's the word said, for those who read the Bible, says you should go to sleep with anger in your heart. So understanding the love language, how do y'all, like, whether you're being married or just significant other, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, how do you two, and I'll say mine too, like, how do y'all work on resolution to make sure that their love language, they feel and felt, and it's resolved before how do y'all resolve? Do y'all resolve before you lay down, or does it carry over to the next day and then we can finish it, or how do y'all work on it?
Sometimes if it's not resolved, as Jasmine said, everything cannot be resolved tonight. I still don't like to go to bed mad, spiritually in my Christianity. I do like to let him know that I love him. I like to still come back sometimes and be like, I'm not mad at you. It's just, I'm frustrated. And, sometimes that open up a door where we can have that conversation that I didn't think was about to take place. Sometimes that open up a door to where the conversation still goes left because we're still not hearing each other. So, space is a real thing. It's not that don't do it in a narcissist way, because that's a real thing too. But you have to be self-aware. You have to be self-aware. Because you cannot just come onto your partner thinking y'all about to work this out or whatever, and you thinking you calm, cool, and collected, but not watching how you're approaching the situation. And then sometimes everybody can still be heated. You may be calmed down, but your partner may not be calmed down. So you trying to approach the situation, and you like, oh baby, I just need to, and he's all like, yeah. I mean, he ain't gonna approach like that, hopefully, but he's He's still up here while you done made it down here. So you have to look and reflect on you, on the situation, on where your partner is, on where you are. If y'all can have that moment, or if you have the type of partner where you could just be like, hey, let's just talk about it tomorrow. I don't want to go to bed mad, or I love you. It wasn't meant for that. We'll talk about it tomorrow or whatever. But that works for us. That's what we do. Sometimes if I need to take a moment away, I will go to another room. I'm not leaving his house, but I will go to another room. That's cool. He might go downstairs. I might be upstairs. I feel like that's very doable. That's what relationships need to practice sometimes, because we don't know how to just take them seconds and the moments. And that's what helps you guys come back, is taking a moment. Long story short.
Doesn't that sound like that actually sounds like a love language within itself, the sensitivity, which is not part of the 5 that we've been talking about all day. So I guess that we can say that love language is more than the 5. The 5 that we took and talked about is like just the core. But what you just said to me when I listened to that, I'm like, man, that's still love too. Knowing when to, just being sensitive to the situation and giving it time to heal before I can come in, and finish the conversation. So that's pretty dope.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna cheat a little bit because I'm a certified conflict resolution mediator. So this is
self-certified.
Certified.
Certificate.
I'm certified.
Self-certified.
Bona fide. Now I say that to say this: within doing conflict resolutions, doing mediations and things like that. There was a test that we took and it tests two different factors: how you act when you're calm and how you act during a storm, because then it's different yous. The you that you are when you calm, you may be, and so I'm gonna relate it like this: like calm, you talking to Damon, you know what I'm saying? During the storm, you talking to Scrap. Scrap will knock you the hell out, while Damon is gonna have a conversation with you. Like Damon is the level-headed one. Like Damon is level-headed. Damon, you can have a conversation with him. Damon is articulate. Scrap gonna be like, bitch, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes down. It just depends on who you're talking to as to whether you talking to me when I'm calm versus when I'm in a storm. Now, if I'm in a storm, leave me be.
Hello.
Please,
dear God.
If I'm in a storm, give me space.
Please.
That does not, and that space does not mean when you think I'm ready to talk. Because like you said, we was both up here for a second. I hold on to shit. You know what I'm saying?
What's your sign? What you sign? You're a Scorpio.
I'm a Libra.
Oh, I love Libras.
I'm a Libra, but when my feelings is hurt, I hold on to it. So we might start up here and you done died down, but I'm like,
like, hell no, so bad.
But Libras can usually bring it down.
Sagittarius is like that.
Libras can usually bring it down, though.
Hey, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about it is really easy. So I tell people all the time, it's real easy to piss me off. And at the same time, it's real easy to get me back. You know, like the nothing that it took to piss me off is the same nothing that it takes to get me back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you ugly, you cute. All right, you just pissed me off and bring me back at, you know what I'm saying, in 2 seconds. So but if you down here, if you calm now, you revolving in your calm, I'm still revolving in my storm. Hey, So, but and I encourage everybody, all the viewers, all the panelists, kind of look that up online and see what your calm storm ratio is. Like how do you act during your calm and how do you act during your storm, because it's different, and you'll need to know what your partner's calm and storm is too. That can take, now normally this is done in like office spaces, so you can know how your co-workers, or when you
this is everyday life,
want to leave them somewhere, but
I mean, I think, again, the space,
that's everyday life.
Space really shows you, time really shows you who's for you, right? Because like you said, maybe in that time you try to go off with Tanisha or something like that just because you heated. That needs to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? Those things need to be brought to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying do that.
Oh, because I okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes space brings out realness in people. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you really like when you're mad? What do you really like? Like, do you really think it's over? Or like, are you able to kind of like still respect the relationship?
Reflection. Space gives you that reflection.
Yeah.
Space gives you that, not just, okay, so when I say reflection, let me touch on that just a bit. Because sometimes, I'm going to speak for myself. Please. In those situations where I'm heated, I felt it a little personal attack from you, Scrap. No, not really. But when you said you're two different people, I'm very guilty. Right? You have Monty, right? And then you have LaMontica that you just really, you don't want to pull her out. But that's what comes in play when I said you have to check yourself, right? Because if this is who you want to be with, this is your person, your soulmate, your lover, your friend, your homie, who you trying to build this empire with, all the words we didn't use tonight. Why are you talking to this person like that? You know what I'm saying? Why can't you control your anger? And I know that's a cliche question, but that's a real ass question too.
Very
because real. Why is it with certain people, it's just, we can't hold back sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We allow them to get us there, but then we got them certain people where we like, oh, that bitch ain't gonna ruffle a feather over here, or man, whatever. And it's just, it comes into play where you have to be, I know accountability is that word, but it's reflection for me, because I like to use vampire, not just the blood sucking, but when you look in the mirror, what do a vampire have? No reflection. Don't be a vampire in this fucking world scared of garlic. Put that in everything you cook. Like, don't play. And that's just my thing personally. So, and I try to practice what I preach, but I get my moments where I'm over here and I'm a whole nother person. But when I realize, in the moment, if I can self-reflect, I will try to bring it down and immediately apologize for my actions. May not make it right at the moment, but it's being recognized, it's being heard, it's being noticed, and more. And ego, like that person said, you gotta put that ego down.
Hey, Amina, but I think that's why.
I'm sorry, Miss Amina.
That's why I try to say that I try to prevent myself from saying, the classic cliche, I'm a grown ass man, because I look at it like this, like, if now I may be grown up, meaning I ain't about to get no taller, right? But trust me, I've been waiting on it. I've been waiting on that growth spurt for decades. It ain't happened.
Been waiting on some growth spurt.
So I'm going up as high as I'm gonna go, but most people don't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm grown. Now, think about something that's grown. It's literally stopped growing, right? There is no more growth if you're grown. That is a superlative. That's it. It's over. You're not growing no more if you grown, So I still got some growing to do. And I am grown up, and I'm a lifelong learner. So
anybody who's enlightened knows this soul is old as hell and ain't
For
no
real.
stopping and growing.
Okay.
Ain't no stopping and learning.
Right. I like to say I'm grown, but I gain wisdom
I'm
every
definitely
day.
right. Hello, 'cause
Every
I'm definitely
day.
grown. Okay.
Gain wisdom every day.
Amen.
Because that's really where you learn. You have to learn from your
Wisdom.
mistakes, not just
Or
from
the mistakes
the
of
things you
others.
see. Mistakes of others. Mistakes of others will tell you, because we all see, but sometimes we just like to play follow the leader for some reason. Like, we didn't see this monkey fall off above their head, and that monkey fall off above their head, and the mama keep coming in talking about no more monkey jumping in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we still doing it?
So let's do this.
Hold on real quick, bro. Hold on real quick. Hey, how far through that bottle, y'all?
First of all,
Mind your business.
Mind your business. I knew she was gonna say that.
mind your business.
My metaphors come all day, every day. I'm gonna have a saying and a song.
That's funny. I knew she was gonna say that. That's funny.
We are through.
Go ahead, bro.
We are the second.
Now,
Hey, hey, no judgment. No judgment.
This is a judgment.
I'm not.
We listen and we don't.
Listen and we don't judge.
let's
Yeah.
talk.
Because I ain't gonna tell you what's in my cup. Go ahead, bro.
Now, because again, this is notoriously opinionated, and part of the platform is all like we giving back, we teaching, we talking, and everything else. So again, whoever's listening, what I'm saying, hopefully we helping and teaching, and we're learning as we go as well. Make sure we end off with just kind of saying something that you want to give to somebody, like from what about the 5 love languages, like what's the lasting impression? What are you going to do to teach the next generation or our generation, so that way we can make sure we sum that up, make sure that somebody's learning something.
The each one teach one.
Each one teach one, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I would say you have to be willing. You have to be patient. And the learning, the adapting, the growing, and the change never stop. So you have to be ready and really understanding what unconditional love is if you're really trying to be in a relationship. All selfishness aside, and you have to be selfless.
Good point.
Yikes, that was great. That was good. That's hard to follow.
I'm learning this, you guys.
I feel time is the most important thing. Allowing yourself to get to know somebody. First of all, getting to know yourself first. I think we're so quick to rush into these ships to be distracted from other things that are going on in our life. And so I think allowing time to not only get to know yourself, but get to know people. And then maybe at that point, you'll actually understand how your love languages can coexist, but first allow some time. And I know a lot of people really don't want to do that. We're in the society now where it's just like instant gratification. Oh, I'm competing with this person online and and I want to have what this person has. But you really do yourself a disservice when you don't just allow yourself the time to not only get to know someone else, another human being, but yourself.
Yeah, that's good talk. So I'm gonna talk specifically to the men. I just feel like, as a man, give yourself an opportunity to learn mistakes, and learn from the mistakes. So don't beat yourself up. Don't allow external people to judge you that don't know you, and really put in that work, man. Because I think it's funny because one of the mantras or one of the things that I tell men and I try to teach men, I'm like, I don't have to manipulate a lady to get what I want from a lady. Growing up, culture told me to lie to women. Like I need to lie to her to get what I want for her. And as I gotten older, the freedom of just being transparent, you don't get what you want by just being transparent, giving her the choice to choose. So as I'm learning, so as I give her a choice to choose, and if that's someone I decided I'm gonna spend my time with, then I'm gonna actually love her love language so that she can reciprocate. Don't ever expect somebody to give you something that you're not willing to give. So I just say just keep it real. Don't even we ain't gotta fake it and stop following everybody, man. Be what they say, the the teacher to have the student that teaches himself as a fool for pupil. So don't be mad, or don't think that you can't pull from somebody else, man. Get in groups, get into people. Don't just always be around people that's yes man. You get around somebody that you think that could be, leader in that, man. Bounce this shit off, ask questions. Because that's why our culture, for real, in my opinion, kind of behind, because we don't know what OGs are anymore. In my family, in one part of my family, we don't have a big mama anymore. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking at one of my cousins. She's the oldest one in the family. I told her, I said, you big mama, and she don't want to take that role. You know what I'm saying? So we need OGs and big mamas still, because those are the people that help us hone in on the skill sets.
I guess it's my turn.
That part.
So, yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to the fellas too. So, I'm listening to what all y'all said, so I wasn't thinking about what I was gonna say. But I think mine would be, don't allow your emotions to override or overthrow your intellect. Because it's at that point that you're allowing somebody else to dictate what you do, and you just allow them to live rent free, like right up in this general region. So I'm going to try not to let somebody else's mood dictate my action. So I think that's something that's I'm seeing that's really difficult with a lot of I'm not even gonna say a lot of younger cats, because I know some 60-year-olds that's emotional as hell, and I know some 17-year-olds that's mature as hell, so I know some mature 17-year-olds, and I know some immature 60-year-olds. So they call them old ass fools. So that would be my thing. Not letting your emotions begin to override and dictate your intellect. All right. So here's what I would like to allow everybody to do at this point. This is what I'm gonna call shout outs and shameless plugs. So if it's anybody that you guys want to shout out, give a shameless plug to whatever it is that you want to give a plug to. This is your time to go ahead, let them know where they can find you, where they can follow you, all that. And while you're doing that, if you ain't subscribed to Notoriously Opinionated, shame on you.
Shame on you.
You can't be on my show and then not subscribe to my channel.
Wait, let me get a shout out to Dream Evans, who's been commenting on here. Her last comment said, "Don't allow your past to hinder your future." Baby, because we don't know how to stop bringing our past to our future, and we all need to start that, honey.
Shout out to Akasha and Dutchman West. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Jasmine J, aka the Wine Goddess. Please follow me at the.winegoddess on Instagram. I also have a show with my girl Kiki, the Countess of Cabernet, every Sunday. We take a little break because it's New Year and all that stuff, so we'll be back like on the 12th. I think it's that Sunday. But we host a wine tasting show, and basically you just learn different pairings that you can have with wine. I also host wine tasting, so yeah, just follow me, check me out. It's a good time. Shout out to KC.
And Akasha will.
Hey, I was gonna get it.
Again, shout out to Akasha because he be directing.
We took a few of your things, Akasha.
I was gonna get it.
That's all.
Go ahead,
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, what I do for a living, I'm not gonna shout that out, you know what I'm saying, right now. But who I do want to shout out is one of my homeboys, Chris Dunlap. He's really into the culture, and he teaches everybody financial literacy through the stock market. And what's the name of his? Dang man, but I just forgot the name of his. Give me a second. What's the name of Chris? Oh yeah, New Wall Street. So catch him on
NU
Instagram,
or NEW?
NU, New Wall Street. Hey, dude's a beast. You know what I'm saying? So he's teaching everybody how to stranglehold that stock market. You know what I'm saying? And he's touching it. So give him again, shout out to Chris Dunlap.
Yeah, when you brought up the Afrocentric part, I knew it was NU and not NEW. I already know. All right, so first off, let me go ahead and do this. I gotta shout my guy out, man. Shout out to Akasha, man. I gotta give a shout out to my producer, man. Dopest producer in Kansas City. Let me tell it. You know what I mean? That's my guy, and he is a constant viewer of Notoriously Opinionated. If he's not actually on here, actually he was supposed to be a guest tonight, like low key. He was supposed to be a guest tonight. We was having technical difficulties. I don't know why all y'all didn't have the same technical difficulties that he did. I ain't even gonna put it out there like that though. I ain't even gonna you didn't hear that from me. You didn't hear that from me. I don't know where you heard it from. You didn't hear that from me. So that's my shout out. Hey man, shout out to my guy Johnny Waller, man. A lot of people know who Johnny is, you know, and if you don't, this is what my dude would say. If you don't know who I am, Google me. that's what you tell you. If you don't know who I am, Google me. Yes. Yes. I was trying not to say it, but yes.
It was definitely user error.
But other than that, stay on the lookout for a lot of things that we got going on right now. Tune in, tap in, Notoriously Opinionated every Wednesday night. Scrap the Film Guru on all social media platforms. I'd like to thank my two lovely guests tonight. Thank you, ladies, for being on here tonight. My wonderful co-host Phoenix. Appreciate everybody for being on here. I think somebody said this was the best show, hands down.
Oh my gosh!
Hold up. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah.
Can I throw one more shout out in there?
Hands down, the best panel and the best show.
Mr. Phoenix,
y'all need to have these ladies back on again. Love the conversation, the insight, the willingness to be vulnerable and talk about how you deal and react. So you know what that means. You know what that means, ladies. Like y'all gotta come back.
Of course.
Y'all gotta come back.
Then I don't know if you guys heard me, but I have to do one more shout out to the big cousin over there, Mr. Phoenix Smoke.
Yes.
If it wasn't for the little Phoenix Smoke,
Shout out to Big Phoenix.
Dig that. Hey, so
right.
And you, Mr. Scrap, for having us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Scrapper Scrap.
Scrap.
Hey, I swear it's crazy that you say that because my name done went through so many transformations. It's crazy. Like
your name remind me of Scrappy Doo, Scooby Doo son.
Nigga, I hear if you
all right. Quick story.
Pause on him.
Quick story. That's actually the origin of my name. You know, because I swear, I promise to you, that's the origin of my nickname. I was originally Scrappy Doo because I was always the short dude fighting everybody bigger than me.
Okay, Scrappy Doo.
I've been boxing since I was 12. I don't know what to tell you.
I love it. I see little Scrappy doing me, so I love it. The old me.
And for real, I keep Scrap just because I've been Scrap, so long. That's just what everybody know me as. But for real, I've calmed down a whole lot. Like trying to tell you, man, look, I've
Y'all spit.
He was growing.
Hey, I am still growing. I don't suggest nobody run up on me, but if you
nobody
just
got
leave me
no
alone.
grip to be throwing no punches after punch. I'm just saying, I'm in my 30s, but I get tired quick too. So.
In the bed.
We tired. We ain't got time.
Watching music videos, having grand.
Hey, so what we gonna do? We gonna me and Phoenix gonna tap back in with y'all and get you on another. Hey, cause for real, I would love to have y'all back in February, cause the entire month of February, all I'm on my Afrocentric kick. You know, it's all Afrocentric topics, but it's gonna be relatable topics. You know, we're not just gonna be going over, you know, swing low.
Talk about it.
You know, but I'm like very knowledgeable about my history, my culture, and my heritage, and so I
Are
like.
you knowledgeable about wine though?
Huh?
You know about wine?
Do I know about wine? Nah, but that's what you here for.
Okay.
That's everybody has.
Come on, make sure we all got a bottle. Yeah,
everybody has what the French call your métier. You know, so that's your lane. But I'm more than happy to let you teach us all about it. You know?
I love to.
All right, so
make sure we all have a bottle so you can actually watch.
We will. We will have a bottle, honey.
Yeah.
Don't you
real
worry
rap.
about
Okay.
that.
Hey, I want the bottle to be clear so we can tell when it decreases. You know.
I mean,
why do you want us to tell?
We can hold it up to the light.
Yeah, just hold it up to the light. Shake it, because it's like,
well,
you know, that mug is like swoosh to suck.
Mind your business. All the audience, mind your business.
Hey, I appreciate everybody for being on here tonight. Hey, if you
Hey,
tune in Notoriously Opinionated next Wednesday, same notorious time, same notorious station. Thank you, guests. Thank you, co-hosts. Until next week, peace. We out.
Peace, y'all.